despite the fact that former President Barack Obama left the average American behind to suffer the consequences of his legacy as he enjoys a life of luxury. Liberals are still praising the man who was ultimately responsible for so much destruction. They even went so far as to invent a holiday in favor of the former president recently, but it immediately blew up in their collective face when conservatives pointed out just one damning thing. Obama left his country in ruins. And there's just no other way around it. The economy was in the toilet, people were desperate for jobs, affordable healthcare had many going broke due to skyrocketing healthcare premiums and deductibles, and the only person getting any richer was, go figure, Obama himself. However, for reasons unknown, liberals were willing to overlook all of that simply because this was the leader of their political party. Blindly following along as they were being led to the slaughter, the morons didn't even see that the man was profiting off their struggle. Still, to this day, that seems to be the case as the left has ultimately invented a holiday for the former leader, dubbing August 4th Obama Day. His followers, who are clearly unable to think on their own behalf, have taken to Twitter in order to sing the man's praises once again. For what? We're not quite sure, but Obama has been on the receiving end of several vague and unfounded remarks such as greatest president ever. Of course, seeing how the facts clearly prove otherwise, anyone with half a brain can see that this is nothing more than clueless idiots chanting for a man who really has not a single care for them. That would soon be made perfectly clear when supporters of President Donald Trump saw what was happening. Just like that, they stepped in to crash the party, and all it took was one simple fact. According to Twitchy, conservatives only needed to point out that Obama was ultimately responsible for the destruction of the Democrat Party to bring the liberal celebrations to a grinding halt. Just because he has quite a bit of support, it doesn't mean that everyone is going to ignore the problems that are out there because of his failed leadership. Obama's kind of negligence has real-world consequences, and not everyone has turned a blind eye, and the votes prove just that. Of course, his failure is not only why Trump was elected, but it's also what got so many Democrats ousted from their seats of power in Congress. Simply put, Obama's abysmal performance as commander-in-chief pissed off Americans so much that they got up and voted for real change during the next election, not that phony stuff he promised during his campaign. Liberals can try all they want to lie about Obama and his success, but the facts demonstrate otherwise. By the time Obama was done, people were breaking our nation's laws left and right because he told them they were entitled to do so without consequence, and our economy was going down the crapper as Americans struggled to figure out how to afford their affordable health care. Remember when liberals were crying because of how high the debt was when former President George W. Bush left office? We never heard a peep from the left about the debt as Obama jacked it up to twice as high in just the 8 years he was in office. Selective moral outrage is unbecoming. It's time the left came to terms with their hypocrisy and the fact that Obama was nothing more than a fraud that used and abused them for his own gain. Please share the story and tell us what you think by clicking one of the buttons below. We want to hear your voice.